That sperm is there and ready to go. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 20 of the Hormone Diaries. We've done 20 episodes. If you've been here from the start, wow, thank you so much. If you are new to this channel, to this series, hello, welcome. I'm Hannah. This is the Hormone Diaries, where we talk about periods and contraception and all of that good stuff. Or bad stuff, depending on your experiences. This episode is sponsored by Always as part of their End Period Poverty campaign, which I am so proud to be supporting. And now Tampax are actually partnering with Always to help donate even more product to students in need. On International Women's Day, I went to a school in Nottingham with Always, more on that later, and based on the questions that I got from students whilst I was there and also my own experiences, I've come up with a list of 10 things that we should all learn about periods in school. Number one, this isn't really a thing that you should learn, but more of how you should learn it. And I believe that all students, no matter what your gender, should learn about periods. I do think that there is some value in having some spaces or some classes that are just for people who do have periods so that you can talk about certain things, but I don't think that the people who don't have periods should be excluded completely, because then you've just got this imbalance of knowledge and imbalance of experience, and it's just not going to help people be able to empathize and support and really just like understand what is going on with their peers, their friends, etc. So I do think it's really important that everyone learns the same stuff, so everyone is like on the same page. Number two, we should be taught that periods can be irregular, especially at the beginning. So especially during that time when you're at school, your period may be all over the place. Usually it does settle down, but also we should be taught about why our period might continue to be irregular and the things that can affect your menstrual cycle. I actually did a whole video on reasons why you might miss your period other than being pregnant, and I think explaining a lot of those things when you're in school would be really useful. Things like stress, things like over-exercising, things like chronic illness, excessive weight gain or weight loss in a short period of time. All of these things can have an impact on your menstrual cycle, but it does not mean you're pregnant, but still take a pregnancy test just in case. Number three, we should be taught about period poverty in school, and that is exactly what I was going to Nottingham with Always to do, and I've got a bunch of clips to show you from that day. It is International Women's Day and I'm in Nottingham, and I'm coming to a school here, the Carlton Academy, and I'm here with Always, and we're going to talk about end period poverty and periods and just have a chat with some of the schoolgirls here, and I'm really excited. We've arrived at the school, and part of the donation drive is that Always are donating the pads, and Tampax are donating tampons to the Red Box Project. And look at this! We've got a massive red box to collect donations. Look at this! Mm-hmm. So many. I can hear them all through this door. Hey everyone! Can you all hear me okay? Yes, good, okay. So yeah, I'm Hannah and I make YouTube videos and I talk a lot about sex and relationships and bodies, and so that kind of brought me to a lot of the work that I do with Always. 91% of girls have been asked by a friend for a pad or a tampon, and 32% of girls affected by period poverty tend to perform below average in class. Over half of women admitted that they were less confident and happy as an adult due to period poverty at school. So it can have like lasting effects on young girls if they experience period poverty in school for whatever reason. How do you think we can normalise periods for boys? I think like unashamedly talk about it in front of them. This took a while for me, but I do remember at one point having a conversation with a friend. Someone mentioned something about periods, and then a guy friend who we were with just went, "Ew, gross." And I remember, I mean, I don't condone shouting at people, but like, I yelled at him. I was yelling at him like, how dare you? You don't have to experience this, and you're saying, ooh, gross. Don't you think that like contributes to us internalizing the grossness of it? Anyway, so maybe shout at them, but maybe don't do that. This is something that the school give to girls if they know that they do miss school because of their periods and they don't have the means to get sanitary products. So there's like a whole little kit of tampons and pads and stuff in there from Always and Tampax, and it's just a little survival kit. I realise that in that footage I'm wearing the exact same top. It has been washed since then. Thousands of girls miss school because they can't afford sanitary protection, and this can have a detrimental effect on their lives as adults in terms of their mental health and their relationships and their confidence. So far, Always have donated 14 million pads to students in the UK, and now Tampax are getting involved and partnering with Always on this mission to end period poverty and are also going to be donating product. There are also ways that you can help to end period poverty. So for every pack of Always Ultra, Always Platinum, Tampax Pearl and Compact Pearl purchased in Boots stores, one product will be donated to the Red Box Project. Also, if you head over to my Instagram, you will see this photo, which was me in the school on International Women's Day with the Red Box from the Red Box Project with all of that donated product in it. If you go and like that picture or comment on that picture, for every engagement, one product will also be donated to the Red Box Project. So this is easy. All it takes is a little double tap and a little comment and you've donated some product. And moving on to number 4, we should be taught about PMS coping mechanisms, and we should also be taught about the difference between PMS and PMDD. So PMS is premenstrual syndrome and PMDD is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, and it affects a smaller portion of people who have periods, but it's basically like PMS, but more extreme, more severe, can get in the way of daily life, daily activities, and can have a really negative impact on your mental health. Any kind of pain or distress due to your menstrual cycle should be taken seriously and not just shrugged off as normal. Number 5, we should be taught about things such as PCOS and endometriosis. So PCOS stands for polycystic ovary syndrome, and basically your ovaries don't release as many eggs and you might have higher levels of testosterone, and so you might have less periods, more painful periods. You might experience some things related to testosterone such as facial hair growth or difficulty losing weight, and endometriosis can cause really heavy or painful periods. It's where the uterus lining grows in places other than the uterus, so such as in the fallopian tubes, and it's a really serious medical condition, and not a lot of people know about it and experience really horrible periods for many years without a diagnosis. So I think those things need to be taught about in schools without it being like fear-mongering, but definitely just make students aware of these things. Number 6, we should be taught about the different options that are out there for period products. So you've got your pads, you got your tampons, you've also got menstrual cups, you've got period underwear, you've got cloth pads. There are loads of different options out there, and also just to make it known that a lot of people use different products during different parts of their period. So you might use tampons for the first few days, then you might use pads for the last few days, you might use pads at night, but menstrual cup during the day. It's kind of like makeup. You don't just use like one brand of makeup on your whole face. You use different products for different things that you need. Number 7, speaking of products, we should be taught where we can get period products for free. So which teacher, which office, is it the school nurse, or does your school have a red box as well? We want to end period poverty and to make sure that no more students are missing school because they can't afford sanitary protection. And so it's really important to inform students of where they can get that product for free, especially if it's in the school. I'm pretty sure when I was in school, it was always the school nurse that had free sanitary protection and also condoms. Number 8, we should be taught that you can still have sex on your period and you can still get pregnant. It is a very common myth that you can't get pregnant if you have sex on your period, and that is just not true. There is still a chance that you can have sex on your period because sperm can live up in the uterus for up to 7 days. So if you're having sex towards the end of your period and then you ovulate a week later, that sperm is there and ready to go. And also just normalizing period sex and normalizing periods in general. Like, it's not gross, it's not weird, you're not dirty. Like, period is just period and it's fine and it's just a normal bodily process and there is nothing disgusting or gross about it. And like, please, if you think that, just move along, don't tell me. Number 9, we should be taught about contraception and how that may impact your cycle. Obviously, different forms of contraception will have different effects on different people. There is no one size fits all when it comes to it. Absolutely not, unfortunately. But I think it's really important to make us aware of the fact that contraception can affect your cycle. And maybe if you have a really bad period and you really hate your PMS and you're having a really bad time with that, then maybe that is a liberating thing to know that you can have some level of control over that with contraception. Obviously, that's not the case for everyone. Some people feel more in control of their body and in control of their period off contraception, but it should at least be presented as an option. And finally, number 10, track your cycle. This isn't something that I was taught in school, but none of these fancy apps and stuff existed then. I did not get my first smartphone until I was 20 years old, and now there are 6-year-olds with iPads and I feel old. But what I used to do was in like my school calendar like notebook where I would write like what homework was due and stuff, I would like circle a day that I was due, I think, and I would star the day that I came on my period. But that was like the most tracking that I did. But I think it's also really important to track things like your PMS symptoms. So like, when do you break out in acne? When do you like feel a bit off? Or when do you get cramps? When do your boobs ache? And things like that. Knowledge is power, and it's really important to know your cycle inside and out. Like, oh, I get cramps like 2 days before I come on, or my boobs ache like exactly 30 minutes before I start my period. Like, I don't know if you can predict your cycle to that specific, but the more you know your body, the more you can feel in control of what is happening. Or at least, if you do need help, you do need to go to your doctor for whatever reason, you know what your symptoms are and you can tell them what is going on with your body. So those are my 10 things that you should learn about periods in school. If you have any other ideas of things that you want to learn about periods in school, or you wish you'd learn about periods in school, please do leave them in the comments. Thank you so much to Always for sponsoring this video and doing the work that you do with the End Period Poverty campaign. And I'm really proud to be supporting this campaign. Make sure you go to my Instagram and like and comment on that picture so that more product can get donated. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe because I put out new videos every week. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!